I think the digital world of music is very interesting. I think it's all fucked up. I think that, and I don't mean that in a bad way necessarily. What I mean by that is it's fucked up so like there's no one who has the right answer. The reason, like, and I'm from the Bay Area, we've released indie records since the beginning, so I'm not new to doing that. What I am new to is like streaming sites and services like that, and how like you can make a record happen or work in two things: the short attention span group of listeners and the no one will buy records listeners. So you can't fund. Like before, when we do a record, like First Deltron, like we're pretty indie, you know, but we still sell like a couple 100,000 records. You know what I mean? Now, last time around with Universal, we sell, you know, like under 100,000. They're like, "You're doing so good." I'm like, but it doesn't even fund enough to make us do what we want to do, and they're trying to make us spend all our money for these big week ones, which work really well for like a Rihanna or work really well for a Beyonce or a, whatever's trying to be number one. But when you're trying to make a burner and make it last, it's a bad philosophy. So they don't know what they're doing. We don't know what we're doing. It makes it great because everything is more different and outlaw. I've been linking with various people like liquor companies now and food people and restaurants and like weed companies, you know, like to do different versions of releases, you know, and like I've had my own beer made, I've had my own perfume made, I've had, you know, like all sorts of things to link with and do with, and in this Dr. Octagon, like probably some of the promos are going to come through some weed companies, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just a different world, and I want to be able to turn and pivot really fast with the business, without the business, I should say, to make the business, you know what I mean? Because like I think decisions have to be made. It may have not made sense to a major label, but it'll make sense to me to give someone something to use or promote with that maybe it wouldn't have made a label happy, and I don't want to have to deal with an unhappy label to make my thing happen, I guess is what I'm saying. I think the music business as a business is dead, but that doesn't mean music is dead. Music, everyone listens to music all the time. Music is always there. But the idea of selling a record when someone can buy it, pay $10 a month for a service to get every record, it's an outdated model. People buy vinyl, yeah, all that stuff, but it's fetish. You know, it's a small sums versus what a record sale needs to be to make it happen. Of course, touring and merchandise can make up for that. But as we are in the digital age, we're in the computer age, every company, whatever it is, they need content. And content is music. Music is also in every movie. Music's in every commercial. Music everywhere. People listen to music every day. They listen to it all the time. When you're in the supermarket, you're listening to music. It's just the way to make it work for you, which means, in my case, monetizing it enough to make more records. Like I've never went into this business to be rich, but at the same time, I don't want to not be able to make my records and do the craft. So, like I said earlier, it's like partnering up with different people and different things, I think is more the future of the music business than it is to like go to a label, unless you're going for the number one slot, in which case the traditional method can work for like a few people. Art and music programs are very important to the growth of our youth. I think it opens up a certain way of thinking in the brain. I also think that like creativity is underrated in the sense of like, if you're talking about money, for example, and business of making money and whatever, creativity allows you to see different paths to make things happen. I'm not saying it's all financial, but what I'm saying is opening up your creative side can help you in business. Making art, it can help your emotional side. Just creativity itself can allow you to like think differently than other people to find your place in the world, whether it's something like purely financial or whether it's something purely like artistic. It allows you to like open up your brain to different ways of solving problems and working. I just can't picture a world without arts and how the people would not have that segment of their brain working that way, because it covers everything. And if you don't have art in your life, you're missing out, you know, and I want to make sure that the next generation and the next generation and the next generation of kids and whatever are stimulated in that way, so that becomes part of their life as well. Would I help kids in art programs? Yes. I don't think I would necessarily be the person to initiate a program, but I would participate for sure in that kind of thing. I'm not as equipped to like find people or set up a school or whatever, but like, yeah, absolutely, I would totally participate in helping people or through either telling experiences or through teaching, either one.